is it better to have a kid or not have a kid? That's like the cutest thing, and I love that. I love being a mom. I would have never understood it. Stuff like that makes me happy, but it's not something that I will tell people and like they will be like, oh, that sounds really fun. It's not like that. Later, he will bring it up like later. And I'll be like, where is this coming from? Like, why didn't you say it back then? So I was just babbling about what I don't want Aiden to learn from you.
Oh, F you.
Hi everyone, welcome back to another mukbang. Today I'm back with one of my biggest cravings during my pregnancy, which is Korean style raw marinated blue crabs. This one is based red sauce based. There are, oh my god, I cannot talk. There is a soy sauce one too, but they didn't have it in store. I wanted to do half and half today, but they only had the red sauce, so I bought 2 packs of that. And another one that I really wanted to eat was spicy raw squid, marinated in red sauce and spicy sauce. One of the things that I really craved as well. These are both like rice leaves. I have kimchi as well because I'm making some ramyun. I have my rice here today. I am going to limit myself. I am not going to go too crazy because I'm making ramyun. It's so crazy how much rice you could eat with this. I have been craving. I don't know why I didn't film this earlier, because when I was pregnant, I've been like counting days until I could film this. I think a lot of people, well, maybe not a lot of people, but I'll speak for myself and my husband. So Tong and I both like thought that we can't have raw food, like you just can't have it. The reason why they don't recommend you consuming raw food during pregnancy is because you could get food poisoning and it could affect your baby. But like a lot of people say, if it's like really like fresh and you know that it's okay, like you trust this brand or place or whatever, like they say like once in a while it is okay. But a lot of people don't want to take that risk. To be honest, I had some sushi, like not a lot, maybe like twice. I was too lazy to chop this up. Now I can't even cut it because it's so thick. I should have brought more. You know what? Whatever. That's alright. It's almost done. So I have peppers as well. This is homegrown. I am all over the place. Oh my gosh. So yeah. So although I had like a piece of sushi and like maybe 2 pieces of oyster during my pregnancy, this is one thing I did stay away from. I did stay away from the squid as well. So I am going to go all out. Although I only have 1 bowl of rice. Like this is super packed though. So which one should I eat first? Oh my gosh. Actually, when I was preparing this, I had a little taste of the squid, so I could like wait on that. But let's start with the crab. These are so tiny. I wish I could make my own, but it's just too much work, and yeah. But this one's very like, the sesame oil on this is very strong. Oh my gosh. I'm gonna turn this off. This is so difficult. Okay, I'm gonna get a little bit of rice, or a lot of rice. Okay. Why am I wearing a white shirt? Why? Why do I do this to myself? Cheers. Or maybe I could Okay. I brought ramyun because I thought this will get too fishy for me eventually. Right now it's okay. It might not even get fishy, but why not have ramyun? This is I cut up some serrano peppers on top of the squid. We have the squid. Let's get the squid. We have the squid. If you guys never had this before, it might not be for you. But if you want to explore, go for it. Hold on, no. Man, I should have made more rice. I'm gonna have to wash the shirt separately. Oh, these are so tiny. I think the only reason why I'm hesitant to film, well, I was hesitant to film this, is because there's a lot of spitting. Ooh, spicy. Spitting out. There's some on here, the rice. So growing up, I wasn't like my mom used to make this very like once in a while, not too often, right? And whenever we had it, like we would always limit ourselves because there's only few, there's not that much supply for us to have. And I had a sister, I had a dad, and all that, so I always like had to like limit to like 2 pieces. I am very grateful to be in life where I get to just indulge. Okay, let me just have this piece. This is gonna be so messy. Oh, I don't know how some people eat this so clean. So there's like not actual pieces of kimchi in here because these are the leftover. Okay, you know what? I'm just gonna use my hand. I think telling somebody to, or kind of pressuring somebody to get pregnant is a very irresponsible thing. Like, I would never say it. I would never want to hear it. My parents were really, you know, because this is their first grandkid, and not having a grandchild and like people around them having a grandkid, like I'm sure they've been like itching to tell me, or like tell me like they really want to see a grandkid or whatever, but they never really did, you know. So I really appreciate that. And like I felt a lot of pressure when like people around me were getting pregnant and all that. So I did feel a little bit of pressure before from someone that experienced something like that. I would never want to tell somebody to be pregnant, or like I don't even want to pressure them in any way, right? It sucks. But if somebody did ask me like, is it better to have a kid or not have a kid? I think it's better. And I think that it's different for everybody. Some people are better off without kids. You know, I believe that. If you ask me the first month of having Aiden, I'll be like, I don't know, maybe not. Maybe having a kid wasn't for me. Like I would answer like that, but now having a kid is pretty awesome. Like I love being a mom. He is so cute. I love like, you know, like my favorite thing right now is like when I hold him, like there's little hands grabbing onto my shirt. That's like the cutest thing, and I love that. I love being a mom. I love that he's so dependent on me right now. I mean, you could talk all day about this, like why it's better, why your life was better before having a kid. You know, the freedom, mostly freedom, right? And maybe like financial freedom as well. This, like the feeling that I have right now, like the joy that I have from having Aiden, is something I just can't explain it. Like even if like my friends or family try to tell me, like they probably did, right? Like why it's so amazing to have a child. Like it brings a different joy, different like a happiness in your life. I would have never understood it. It brings great amount of happiness, and I believe that. And if someone to tell me, or I guess ask me like, I mean they shouldn't be asking me this, but if they did ask, should I have a kid or no? Like would it make me happier? Depends, but yes. That's what I would say. I don't want to get too deep into this, but it definitely like matters. Like depending on what kind of stage you're in life, but I mean, of course, if you're like 17, if you're in high school, like no, don't have a kid. No, live your life a little bit first. But you know, if you're in a place where like you feel like you could have a kid, like financially and whatever way, then I would say, yeah, have a kid. They're so cute. I remember talking to like a friend's friend. I guess like everything I talked about, like my experience as a new mom, like I guess everything was negative. And she's like, it seems like nothing is good. Like nothing you said is like positive. So I feel bad because I didn't want to make it seem like having a kid is like the worst thing ever. But if she talks to me now, I mean, honestly, the stuff that I have to go through like day to day, it's like not the most fun thing if you just put it into words. But to me, like even changing diaper, like checking that he pooped, like, or he drank all of his like 4 ounces or 5 ounces, like stuff like that makes me happy. But it's not something that I will tell people and like they will be like, oh, that sounds really fun. It's not like that. So yeah, long story short, I love being a mom. I saw somewhere online that one of the reasons why babies, like, doesn't matter boy or girl, one of the reasons why babies love the mom more than the dad is because, like, typically the baby spends more time with the mom. Like physically they are more attached to the mom throughout the day, right? More than the dad. When the baby start to see that, oh, the mom is like very lovey-dovey to the dad, like she's happy to see the dad, like she hugs the dad and all that, the baby sees like, wait, that's like she's mine, like now I have a competition. That's why they say the babies, like it doesn't matter if it's a boy or girl. But yeah, that's why like the babies love mom more, because they feel like the dad is like trying to take away the mom from them. So I'm like, good, I want Aiden to love me more. In the beginning, I was like, I want our baby to love both of us just the same, you know? Like I don't want him to cry looking for me when I'm gone, as long as the daddy's there, or vice versa. But now I'm like, I want him to look for me. I want him to only see me. I want him to only love me. You know that feeling where we're hanging out with like a few people, family, whatever, and like everyone's like loving Aiden, like all the pretty, like, oh, you know, like they like hug him, they hold him, all that, but all of a sudden Aiden just like snaps and he just starts crying. For example, like Tong's holding the baby and he's trying to do everything, like, oh, why are you crying? Let me comfort you, but nothing works. But as soon as the mom comes in, the mom holds the baby stops crying. Like I just need that moment right now. Everything's just so spicy. So the other day, well, I've known this for a while, but I have road rage. And I feel like it's getting worse that I'm getting, like the more, like the older that I get, I feel like my road rage is getting worse. And usually, like, you know, Aiden is in the car with me, and that's something that I really don't want Aiden to see, and like as he's growing up, because something that I don't want him to learn. And I don't know if anybody felt like similar thing as me, or like did you guys see any like outcome from it? Like do they like start following you, like even if they're not driving, I guess, or like if your kid is old enough to drive, like do they have road rage like you? I'm pretty sure something that they could just kind of learn, right? Because they grow up watching it, and which is why it's so scary, because kids are like a sponge. They soak up anything. Like, so like what you say in front of the kid, what you do in front of the kid is so important, because like more than words, they see what you do and they learn mostly from that. I mean, Aiden is like still too young, I guess, but like I'll be just like really angry in the car. I mean, if Aiden wasn't in the car, I would be screaming, but like I didn't. It'll be more like, oh my god, like, oh, that kind of like sounds. I will make those kind of sounds, and I gotta fix it. How do you fix road rage? I really don't want Aiden to learn that from me. Or is it something that it's kind of already in their blood, in their DNA? I feel like maybe it wouldn't transition right into road rage. Maybe they'll just learn that, oh, if you're angry, you could just scream or swear or whatever. Maybe like they'll learn how to cope with things when they're angry, and they don't, and maybe like the way that they handle anger might like be bad, because they see me on the road and angry or I'm frustrated, you know. No, actually reminds me, like, when Tony and I were like talking about like things that we want to change for our baby and all that. One of the things I said was like, I don't want to pretend that we're this like couple that we never fight. Like I actually don't mind fighting in front of our kid, as long as we make up, and the kid sees that we make up. Like how do we deal with arguments? How do we deal with anger during arguments? Like I want our kid to learn that the proper way. that's why like I told Tom like I don't mind like our kids seeing that we're fighting, as long as like we don't just walk away and like not resolve the problem. Like I want the kid to see that, you know. And I think because if you think about it, like he can't avoid arguments in life. He can't avoid fights and angers in life. So as a parent, what we could like what I thought we could show him is how to deal with it. So I don't know like what you guys think, but like I want I want to raise him strong. Who doesn't want to raise their kids strong, right? Very dependent, independent. And one of the characteristics that I want to teach him is how to express your emotion. I don't, just because he's a boy, or this might be very like an old school way of thinking, but like, you know, like growing up, like I've heard like men shouldn't cry, men should hide their emotions better than women. That's just like old school minded, right? But for me, being a strong person is being able to communicate and being able to express your feelings correctly. And I really want to show that to my baby. That it doesn't matter if you're a boy or a girl, if you're sad, express that you're sad, but in the proper way. And on top of that, hiding your feelings isn't healthy. So for me, I'm very expressive. Like I make it pretty obvious when I'm like this isn't like good, but like when I'm angry or sad, I think I'm pretty expressive. It could be good in certain situations. Some situations I should be hiding it more, but I can't. Tong is completely opposite. He's very good at hiding his emotions. If you see that he's angry, he's very angry. So whenever he's like frustrated, angry, like it's usually harder to tell. Well, me, I could tell now because I've been with him like too long. So it'd be very nice if Aiden was right in the middle. Because we're so different in that way, we will fight about like the way we fight about is like if I was at like a hangout and I was like angry about something, and I would tell Tong like, oh, I'm pretty like mad about this or whatever, and he's like, and Tong's response would be like, yeah, I could tell, like why do you have to be so like obvious, like you're making everyone feel uncomfortable. That's what we would fight about. On the other hand, when Tong, because like my husband, he doesn't show like the way he feels or like he doesn't express enough. Later he will bring it up like later, and I'll be like, where is this coming from, like why didn't you say it back then? So that's what we would be fighting about. So I want Aiden to be like right in the middle. Well, my mom has not called me yet. Because Aiden's schedule has been really just all over the place. I thought she would be calling me with more questions, but she's good. Oh, I want to spice it. So if you guys are like a future mom, a newly mom like me, or you have been a mom for a really long time, was there anything that you just didn't want to pass down to your kid? Like it could be like your characteristics that you or your husband have, or your partner, or I mean like genetics. That's like inevitable, but like your personality. What's one thing that we somewhat have control over that you just didn't want your kids to learn from? But it's so hard, isn't it? Because like me, I'm 33. And I lived my life like this for like 20 plus years. Like I can't change overnight, right? So what do I do? Well, another thing that I sort of wish that Aiden isn't like me is that I'm very wishy-washy and I just can't stick to one thing. I don't know if some of you guys already like noticed this from me through like watching me over like 5, 6, I'm like almost like 8 years. Oh my god, I think this month I'm hitting 8 year on YouTube. But anyways, maybe I'll make a video on that. But anyways, That's one thing that I don't want Aiden to learn from me. Like my sister and one of the biggest, one main, like first thing that I really respect about my sister is that she picked this one thing to study and she kept it and she is still going for it. I'm like, how do you stick to one thing? Cause me, like, I've changed my major like so many times. I can't even remember. I wanted to do so many things in life, so my career like path always changed. I know that I've been on YouTube for 8 years, but within that 8 years, like I've changed so many. Like I've posted so many different contents. Cause like sometimes I felt burnt out from certain things, and like 2-3 years back I didn't upload anything for like a year or so because I was really burnt out. And you know, some people aren't. Like I see some like mukbangers or like a foodie people on YouTube, like they've been going for years and they didn't rest like me. They weren't they're probably burnt out, I'm pretty sure, but like they didn't like pause like me and try to change like the career path. But me, like I'm so like always like wanting to try something new that like I'm always at the surface level, where my sister, she picked one thing and she kept like she's like best at it, you know. So that's one thing that I sort of I don't want Aiden to learn from me, or I don't know if that's like DNA, it's already in his blood. I hope not. But I want him to explore. Yes, I want him to go on adventures, explore what he wants to do. But when he's set, I want him to really push himself until like he's ready to like really quit. Unlike mommy, who kind of like quits really easily. Yeah, I think that's the word. I think I quit pretty easily. But even if he ends up being like me, I mean, I'm always gonna be there for him. I'm gonna support him. You know, he is my kid after all. He got it from me, so who do I blame? Oh, I'm so full. I don't know if you guys have been seeing photos of Aiden on my Instagram or even on my vlogging channel, but Aiden is very identical to me right now. Tom would be like, yeah, I think you had this kid by yourself because he was nothing like, he doesn't resemble anything of me. And that's what everybody tells me, like, yeah, I don't see you. I don't see Tong at all. And of course, like in the beginning, I was like, no, he'll look like Tong. It's fine. Like he'll look like his daddy soon. But now, like the more I'm obsessed I am getting with Aiden, like it's okay if he doesn't look like Tong. Like it's okay. Hi. 나 찍고 있는데. 나 찍고 있는데. 내가 오지 말라 했잖아.
몰랐지. 찍어.
다 했어?
나 가도 돼.
나 다 했어. Do you miss Aiden?
Of course.
He's very happy to see Harmony. My God, my mom didn't even say hi to me. You know, like I go into the driveway and they come out right away, and then my mom goes like, Aiden, like Aina. I'm like, hi.
Your daughter's here.
This is my test set. I'm like, what the hell is that? I was just gabbling about what I don't want Aiden to learn from you.
Oh, F you.
He's been really fussy since yesterday. Like just, cause you know, like I had a routine. Like I would feed him and he would play and then he would go on the swing and snap.
Yeah.
It's not doing that anymore.
Why?
I don't know. He's just like fussy, so I like tried to feed him and it's not it. He cries harder. Yeah, and I put him, like I do everything and he just cries. And then I go back to feed him and he eats. You wanna film a truth or drink? Mukbang, it seems like that's like the thing right now. Why? No, I wonder why you think that we fucked up and not me. So my ASMR channel is going to be active soon, so make sure to check that out as well if you guys have not checked out my vlogging channel. And if you guys want to know how my life is like as a mommy and you want to see more of Aiden, check out my vlogging channel, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye guys.